Okay, so let's get right into it. Everyone's got their eyes on gold and silver, right? But while that's happening, Wall Street is making this huge forecast for a totally different metal, uranium. We're talking a massive 78% surge. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly why Bank of America is making this incredible $135 bet on uranium. And honestly, I'm going to show you why this might just be the biggest commodity story of 2026. Wow. I mean, just look at this chart. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? We're not talking about a small difference here. A potential 78% gain for uranium. It just completely dwarfs what they're predicting for gold and silver. It's like they're not even in the same conversation. This is a massive signal, right? It tells you the smart money thinks uranium is playing a whole different game right now. So that's the big question, isn't it? Why? Why this massive gap? What on earth is going on behind the scenes that makes the forecast for uranium so incredibly bullish, while gold and silver are just kind of plodding along? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. Let's dig in. All right, first things first, let's look at the actual numbers behind this headline. And you'll see it's not just one bank making a wild guess. There's a real consensus building here, and it is pointing in one direction, straight up. See? It wasn't just one bank. Look at this. Bank of America is definitely leading the pack with that huge $135 target, a 78% jump. But even the others, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, they're still predicting gains anywhere from 32% to 65%. The entire street is basically singing the same song here. It's all pointing up. Okay, I get it. A 78% gain might sound kind of crazy, right? Almost unbelievable. But here's the thing. History tells us it's not. During the last big supercycle for uranium, from 2000 to 2007, the price didn't just go up, it exploded. We're talking a mind-blowing 1,842%. It went from $7 a pound to over 136. So the key takeaway is, we've seen this movie before. This kind of explosive move can and has happened. So what's causing all this? You don't get forecasts this big without some serious firepower behind them. And for uranium, it all kicks off with a massive, unprecedented surge in demand. And this surge is being driven by two huge global forces that are hitting at the exact same time. Okay, force number one, the AI boom. I mean, think about it. These data centers are insanely power hungry. We're talking about electricity needs that could soon equal what the entire country of Japan uses. They need power that's on all the time, 24/7, no exceptions. And that means nuclear. Then, force number two, you've got this huge reversal in global policy. Governments all over the world are finally getting back on the nuclear energy train. And this isn't just talk either. This is real action. The US wants to quadruple its nuclear capacity. The UK is calling it a new golden age for nuclear. Poland is starting to build. Japan is firing up old plants and building new ones. And China? China's plans are bigger than the rest of the entire world put together. It's a synchronized global pushback into nuclear. It's happening everywhere. So you've got demand just skyrocketing. But that's only half the story. The other half, well, you could argue it's even more important. We are looking at a massive, massive disruption coming on the supply side of the equation. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Right now, Russia supplies about 40% of the entire world's enriched uranium. Just let that number sink in for a second. 40%. That is a huge dependency for something so critical. And yeah, geopolitics is about to slam that door shut. Hard. And here it is. This is the catalyst. This is the ticking clock. The US is already starting to cut back on Russian imports. But the real deadline, the hard stop, is 2028. A complete ban is written into law. This isn't a maybe, it's not a possibility, it is a certainty. And just like that, you take 40% of the world's enriched uranium, the exact kind you need for nuclear fuel, right off the market. And there is no easy way to replace it. Okay, so you've got that picture now, right? Huge demand, huge supply crunch. With that in mind, let's go back to where we started and put uranium side by side with the other big metals. I mean, the numbers here just tell the whole story, don't they? Uranium's potential 78% upside, it just towers over everything else. 15% for gold, 7% for copper, a measly 2% for silver. It's clear the market is saying that uranium is on a totally different track than everything else.
And here's why it's so different. It's actually pretty simple. Gold, silver, copper, they're all hanging out near their record highs, and some of them might even have too much supply. But uranium? Oh, it's a completely different animal. It's still 44% below its old peak, and it's staring right down the barrel of a massive supply crisis that has no easy fix. It's the complete opposite story.
All right, let's pull all these threads together. This isn't about just one thing happening. It's about all these powerful forces converging at once. And that, right there, is the foundation for this whole new supercycle thesis.
Yeah, this really sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? You've got a supply crisis because of geopolitics, you have massive policy support from pretty much every major government, and you have this brand new, insane technological demand from AI. It's the definition of a perfect storm.
So let's just boil it down to the key points. 1, a real supply crisis you can put a number on, and there's no magic wand to fix it. 2, a totally new and seemingly endless source of demand thanks to the AI revolution. And 3, that hard deadline, 2028 for the Russian supply ban. That's the ticking clock that's going to force the entire market to reevaluate the price of this stuff.
Which brings us to one final question. You have a structural supply crisis on a collision course with exponential new demand. When you look at all the facts, you have to ask yourself, is this just a big commodity story? Or is this going to be the biggest commodity story of 2026?